Firebirds, energy weapons. Both these things are interesting to me, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Clutch, Psychic Warfare, released in 2015. Welcome to Blenderstyle. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Good intro.
So Clutch is one of my favorite bands of all time, and I definitely wanted to do a Clutch album on this show. Wasn't sure which one to do. This one's probably their heaviest and definitely high energy and accessible. Anyone can listen to it. It's not quirky or weird or whatever. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Casey, you and I saw Clutch in 2015 at Aftershock in Sacramento.
Yep.
With my buddy Sean. Shout out to Sean. This is going to come up later. We saw Clutch and they were loud as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
One of the loudest bands I ever saw. Sean and I got close. Sean's a big dude, so he protected me in the front. And then you and your wife hung back.
Yeah. I honestly thought you guys were pussies for going to watch this because I had heard like one song and I was like, this isn't even a metal band.
Why is it? Yeah, it's not even a heavy band. And then they played most of this album.
They did.
Basically in order.
It's a pretty heavy album for sure.
So, so when we went to Aftershock and we watched this, you and Sean, I remember Sean was wearing a Mastodon shirt and I was like, oh man, Sean must not be into metal.
Why?
Because to me, Mastodon wasn't metal. And then you wanted to go see Clutch. I was like, man, they lived together, they're roommates, and now neither one of them like metal. What's wrong with them? And then
Clutch is not metal.
Well, okay, they're not metal, but when
there's
you guys
some
were
Sabbath undertones to Clutch.
but when they were like,
sure.
when they were like, we're gonna go get up front for this, I was like, I'm not even gonna waste my time because I don't care for this band. They're not even heavy. And when they started playing, I looked over at Yvonne and I was like, we should have got up front.
Yeah, dude.
Like they killed it, and I was like, and ever since then,
loud.
it was so loud and it was so good, and I was like, all right, they might be onto something here.
Nathan, are you familiar with Clutch? Do you guys fuck with Clutch at all?
Yeah, the first time I ever was introduced to Clutch was like through like, Bam Margera and shit like that. Because I was like a skateboarder and they had Clutch on like, I think, like, they just were associated.
Yeah, Clutch is from Maryland, I think.
I was always familiar, but this is the first time I like listened to like a Clutch album.
I was curious, yeah.
And I gotta say, like, it just comes out rocking, dude. I love that this is just a rock and roll. Like, this is like a road trip.
Oh, for
early
sure.
morning, gotta go book it. We ain't stopping for a piss or nothing.
It's 100% road trip music.
And like literally, like I said, this makes me want to drink beer and whiskey until the sun comes up, or at least go on a crime spree.
That's awesome.
This is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I love this. It's rocking. It's great, and it got me intrigued. So I went and I started listening to other Clutch albums, and I can honestly say right now that this is my favorite Clutch album, for sure.
So I picked this one also because it's accessible. It's very heavy.
I guess that's what I like about it too.
They get some weird ones. Like this is this is more straightforward, but some of them are weird and quirky, spacey. You know what I mean? So Clutch has a big discography. That's the same four dudes for since early
11th album.
Same four guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Writing this fucking weird rock and roll music, heavy, hard rock, whatever. Yeah. Sometimes it's metal, sometimes it's not.
So Nathan and I last year at Aftershock went really close to the stage to watch Clutch because I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, really?
And they played a couple songs off of this, but they played a bunch of newer stuff or older stuff or I'm not sure because I'm not familiar with anything except for this album. But I was like, it's not as good as the stuff on this album. Like this album is like really kind of their peak to me.
You know what? Okay, you're both Cradle of Filth fans.
Oh yeah.
This is Hammer of Witches for Clutch.
Really?
Yeah. It's not Nymphetamine, right? That's like Earth Rocker.
Yeah.
This is like Hammer of Witches, where it's like the last really solid Cradle of Filth album. They still do good
albums. I didn't think
album.
Hammer of Witches was that good.
Oh, you're insane.
You're insane.
I mean, it was good, but I don't consider it one of their last great ones.
Oh, Cradle of Filth is just, we're going to go on another tangent.
Yeah,
but we should Cradle of Filth is just one of those bands that like I'll always enjoy their music.
So that's how Clutch is for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I like all their stuff. I don't listen to all their albums.
I'd like to check out all their albums, though.
Nothing gave me a bad taste in my, it's just, this is just a fucking rocker. And I like the fact that it's accessible and very, like, fun,
I love how much energy he puts in his vocals on this. That's what kills me.
As a live band, even, these guys are just...
So being in front of him and seeing him scream, dude,
his face turned bright red.
So, yes. He's so loud.
Yeah.
So one of his things he talks about is, like, he can't headbang anymore.
Okay.
And he wants to headbang, especially when, like, the guys showed him the riff for Decapitation Blues.
Oh, that's what it... Yeah.
And he wanted to headbang to it, but he's like, I tried to, but I can't because I had my fucking... he had neck surgery, dude.
Oh, okay.
He can't headbang. So that, like, spawned a whole, like, spacey-ass weird song that is Decapitation Blues, dude.
I love it.
That's one of the things I like about
awesome.
Clutch is it's like, what genre are they? They're like,
Their music.
It's like stoner.
They're
like
still homies getting together on a Saturday night.
Drinking some
jamming out
beers.
some
it's absolutely
songs.
that. They like jamming together. They like making weird music. They don't give a shit that much.
I love the lyrics and the themes that he puts into every one. Like, every one of these songs is a story,
It's
which
a
is
story.
really cool. I also love the guitar work on this.
Yeah.
Like, the guitars on this are so killer. I mean, there's like some bluesy elements. There's some really cool solos. It's kind of all over the place, which is really cool.
I even feel like punk aspects to it and stuff like that.
So
Some
a lot of the
classic rock.
solos, he was saying he didn't want to do like real intricate solos because live he likes to like improvise more. So he did more like horn, like if you were like doing like trumpet or something, like you would play more like,
which is cool because I think it fits perfect.
It works really good.
Like,
yeah,
I love
it's not like
intricate
overdone.
solos.
It's just like kind of lead parts. Yeah.
Well, and that's like one of my things. So I've seen Guns N' Roses
it's
live,
riffy.
and when Slash does the solos for like the older songs, I like when I was a kid, I was so obsessed with Guns N' Roses.
I
memorize every note of that solo. So when he plays it live now, I'm like, oh wait, he didn't draw that out long enough, or oh, he missed that part. I'm just disappointed because.
So if these guys play this live and play the solo live different, you're like, you like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
And John Paul's drumming is phenomenal, dude. I'm a big Clutch fan. Homeboy can drum, dude.
Oh, for sure. I put on my notes. The first note I put down on this was "party on vinyl."
What?
Because as soon as you put this album on, it's just a party.
Right.
It's like this invokes that feel of like, let's go. Like you guys said, let's road trip. Let's grab some drinks. Let's hit the road and see where we're gonna go.
But there's some like ballad songs.
There is, but
Let's
even
throw
then,
some
they're
carcass
so
on the
good.
barbecue and fucking maybe shoot some BB guns and fucking.
Heartwork's a sick album. How about Son of Virginia? I remember like seeing that live, and by the second chorus, everyone was singing along to it, and we've never heard this song before.
Yeah.
It's not. It was brand new.
Right, but it's still catchy.
And it was Aftershock, which is a festival. So most of the people watching Clutch.
I was actually amazed that there wasn't a huge crowd for this.
It was nice.
It was, but it made me mad because I could have got up front and not been killed.
It was not brutal at all. Not like some of the bands we've seen. But it was loud, dude. You probably saved yourself like a decade of good hearing.
I think Noble Savage has like some killer riffs up in it. And even just the song title, I just love those two words, Noble Savage, I just love those two words, Noble Savage.
So that song, I went hard in the paint in this, and there's lots of videos of them talking about these songs. So that's why
I got to go back and listen to this because I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool,
I
dude.
want to try and find those videos.
So I can send them to you. So it's on Clutch's YouTube channel. He talks about Noble Savage being like, he like goes to the bank. He used the example. He goes to the bank and he's like, I need a loan or whatever. And they're like, well, what's your occupation? He's like, I'm a musician. They're like, he probably sells drugs. You know what I mean? And like, part of it is like, he's just like, I'm trying to do the right thing. But at the same time, I have this like unorthodox lifestyle of being a fucking rock and roll guy, dude.
It's cool. I saw an interview with him where he was talking about how he got really into like, I think like synth and stuff like that. And like keyboard music and beat. And like, I like would love to like hear some of the shit that he probably fucks with,
So they have a couple side projects, the members of Clutch. Some of it's like instrumental and stuff like that. It's worth checking out for sure.
Cool.
Is it like individual stuff, or is it all of them together just doing side projects?
Like one of the groups they do, I forget the name, we'll put it on the screen, is like all of them, but it's instrumental.
Oh, okay.
And it's like it's very Clutch-like,
Yeah.
but it's more experimental. And
That's
stuff.
where they write all their new stuff before they decide if they're going to use it.
It's like Queens of the Stone Age when they do Desert Sessions, which is just like a idea factory for Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
kind of like that, maybe.
That's kind of cool. The pacing throughout this is really good. I think even the ballads, like you said, they don't really slow down the pace because even the ballads to me are really raw.
They're heavy.
Yeah. Like they're raw.
Like the chorus part's still raw.
Yeah, it's really cool the way that he does it. And his voice is killer throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, 100.
Like I expected him to blow his voice out 10 seconds into the set.
I know.
And he carried it
when
through
I
the
saw
whole
him
thing.
live, I was just like, he's gonna wreck his vocals.
Man, this would have been a good
He's
band.
decades in.
Yeah, and he's still killing it.
It's just craft, man. Like,
Oh, for
it's
sure.
like these guys have been doing it for so long, and like they're killing it. I think, dude, this to be your 11th album and to come out with this and show friends, I like this is something to be fucking proud of.
These guys don't fuck around. Do not sleep on Clutch, dude. One of the best rock bands of all time, in my opinion.
I agree. I was not expecting to like this as much as I did going into it. I know when we saw him live, I was surprised, but I never gave him a chance after that. That one song, was X-Ray Visions?
Yeah.
That song was played on the radio, and I was obsessed with it. I think that song's killer. But then, other than that, I never really listened to it until you picked this album, and then I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to listen to it. And I was like, man, why didn't I listen to this sooner?
Hell yeah. Like I said before we started, like Casey, you look like somebody that could like be the lead singer of a band like Clutch.
Yeah. It's the baldness, huh?
That beard,
You're not
dude.
bald.
I could see you going crazy.
What do you rate this, Casey?
I gave this a 4.2 out of 5.
Nice, dude.
I love that this is a great rock album, but it touches on metal, it touches on psychedelic, it touches on...
Like you could listen to
grunge,
this with your mom.
touches on blues. Yeah, this would be something... So my dad's really big into AC/DC. And when we were kids, like when we go up to his house for like summer break or whatever, he would wake us up at like 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning to go fishing, and it was always AC/DC just cranked on the stereo. He never came up and woke us up. He just cranked AC/DC. This would be something that I think he would totally dig because it's along that same vein. It's that party. It's that working man kind of rock. It's cool as hell.
Yeah.
I think it's for everybody. I like that
sure.
it's kind of too heavy for some people, and then I like that it's accessible to other people.
But I feel like there's a middle ground in each one of these. Like on this album, there's a middle ground too to be had. Like there's going to be, you'll find something in here that you like.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So that's why I rate this a 4.5, man.
Nice.
I love this record.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, thank you for picking it. I've always kind of like dug them and stuff like that, but like, and like when I first listen, I was like right away that first track, I was like, I'm gonna yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
It comes out swinging.
I love rock and roll, man, and this is a rock and roll album. 4.5.
Nice, bro. Yeah. Respect. So one of the things I love about Clutch is when someone asks me for like a music recommendation, I'm like, Clutch is usually a go-to.
Like, if you're going sexy time, go Pearl Jam. If you just want music, pick Clutch.
Check out a review of Pearl Jam 10.
Either way, a bunch of hairy men.
So I mentioned my buddy Sean.
Yeah.
Earlier, he and I discovered this life hack, and you too can use this life hack. If you're in any situation, you're not sure what music to put on, go into your favorite app, Pandora, Spotify, whatever, go to radio and choose Clutch and do Clutch Radio. You're going to get this weird collection of like 90s, like sometimes they'll play White Zombie, sometimes it's going to play like maybe a country song, and you're going to get a good mix of like just fucking killer tunes. So don't miss out on Clutch. I give Psychic Warfare a 4.5 out of 5.
Well, yeah.
I agree with you, and it's just a fucking fun banger album. It's not my favorite Clutch album,
okay,
but it's definitely up there. So definitely check this one out.
So what is your favorite Clutch album?
So the first one, it's probably the first one I got into. And if you want to know what that is, you're going to have to subscribe to Blenderstyle, leave a comment, let us know what else we should review. That was Clutch, Psychic Warfare. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
The new... He's so pissed.
I'm sorry, dude.
Do you think the Sucker for the Witch is like cherry flavored or like grape, lemon lime?
Probably pumpkin.
Pumpkin.